Like, how would you help somebody who's like feels like they're stuck and that there's no way out of this? Like, oh no, I can't do it. I can't be a programmer. So I'm just gonna keep playing games all day.
So is your question specifically how someone gets out of the trap of just
Yeah,
constantly playing games, or how someone becomes a developer?
it's more of like how someone gets in this trap. It doesn't necessarily have to be just games, but it can be like this whole where it's like, hey, I can't get good at programming, so I shouldn't even try anymore. Or I
Okay.
can't get good at this thing, so let me just keep playing games all day. Stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, totally. I mean, the reality might be you can't get good at that thing. That could be the reality. Maybe that's it. Because it's a choice. This is my opinion. Everyone's capable of being good at programming or 3D art or whatever they choose to be. It's a choice. And the choice is, do I invest whatever 8 hours a day for the next 2 years into getting good at this? If you choose that, you'll get good at it. It's as simple as that. It's nearly everything in life. If you've got the ability to do the thing, like if it requires typing and you're able to type, then you can do it. Like there's,
Yeah.
if it requires the internet and you've got internet, then you can do it. If it requires the internet and you don't have the internet, then
You
you're gonna
can't
have
do
to
it.
find another way to be able to do it, because that's an actual barrier. But if you have the tools and the the physical ability to do it, you can absolutely do it. So the thing that I would say to anyone who's sitting there saying, I can't be a good enough programmer, is you're choosing not to be a good enough programmer. You're choosing for that to be the case. And if you're happy with that choice, then cool, just let it go. Be like, I'm not going to be able to be good enough as a programmer because I don't have what it takes to put in the time and the effort and the sacrifices to be good at it. Cool, done. You've chosen that. You are therefore not good enough to do it. But if you look at it more objectively and say, but I want to do it, it's important to me to do it, well, then the very moment you choose to do it, you are good enough to do it. It's the choice that determines whether you're good enough to do it or not. So if you find yourself stuck, if you're sitting there and you're like, I'm chipping away at this, I'd really like to do it, I don't think I'll ever get there. Step one is to get out of there. Like, get out of where you're in at the moment. Go for a walk. Go find some trees, sit in a park, and get away from whatever is the toxic environment that's pulling you in. It could be you've got your computer, and at your computer you've got all your games, and you've got YouTube, and that's Reddit, and that's what you're just doing. Take some time to get away from that environment and connect with the choice you're making. Write down the choice. I hereby choose to invest time into doing this. So you've got to snap out of it somehow. And often that snapping out requires changing your environment, changing your situation. I think that physical exercise is the power to a lot of the mental procrastination problems. So if you're feeling like me, I've had times where I felt like a slob. I just don't feel good about myself. I'm low in energy. I'm not sleeping as well as I should. I'm not drinking water as much. I'm eating crappy food, and I'm not exercising. Then put all of your dreams on hold for 1 week. Like all of the conversations about, I'm not a good programmer, I'm never going to be able to make games, I'm not going to get there, blah, blah, blah. Put all of that on hold and just spend a week where you get the right amount of sleep, you drink tons of water, you stop drinking fizzy drinks, you cut down your caffeine, you stop eating cakes and potato chips and junk, you go for whatever your body can handle, go for a walk every day, go for a jog if you can jog, and you allow your body to be the catalyst for your mental discipline.
Wow, that's beautiful. Hopefully people listen because the fuzzy drinks and the chips are hard to put down for.
They are, man. They
Yeah.
are. I've had that just recently. I'm going through some challenging stuff in my life at the moment. Some family, personal stuff, and it's very easy to get there and be like, well, I'll just kind of, take the foot off the pedal and just eat whatever because it's easy. Not bother going out for a jog today. It's easy to get in that frame of mind. And that's what I'm saying, that the technique I'm working on now is getting angry about it, because then it jolts you into a different frame of mind. You're not just doing the same old, I should do that. I'm going to write a note on the wall. I'm going to type in my diary. Tomorrow I will be better. Like sometimes those things work, but if they're not working anymore, you can do something different. Like just get up out of your seat, walk outside, stand on some grass, look at a tree, because our body thrives with nature, and get there and be like, I'm angry at how shit things are going at the moment. I'm going to do something about it. When I walk back in there, I'm going to go and delete these things that are getting in my way. I'm going to make a promise to my best friend. I promise by the end of the week, I will have not got drunk at all, whatever it is that's, preventing you. Make a commitment to someone, and then sit down and do 5 minutes, no more, just 5 minutes of the thing that you've been putting off for the last 3 weeks, 5 minutes of it, and say, tomorrow I'm going to do 6 minutes of it. The day after, I'm going to do 7 minutes of it, and stop focusing on the fact that it's going to take, years to get good at a thing or do a thing or finish a thing. Forget about that. That's a mountain. Don't try to climb the mountain. Just look at what I can do today that will have me pointing in the right direction. Take a step, take another step, take another step. Because what you find is, if you're stuck, you cannot try to climb the mountain. You cannot take a huge, I've got to do it all straight away. Don't do that. You've got to get to the point where it becomes a habit in your body and in your mind to be doing the good things and not doing the bad things, the distractions. So chip away at it slowly. Don't try to dive into the boss battle straight away. Practice. Go through the tutorial level. That's what I'm saying in this.
I like that. Go through. We should name that the podcast episode. But yeah, so that's a lot of great stuff about mental health, getting through stuff, getting through the rut. That's a great one too. It's just take a week off. That's why I've always mentioned it with all the guests, because the one thing to say is never give up. It's been a thing throughout they're saying it in different ways. It won't just be don't give up, but it'll be we'll just keep going, or I didn't stop practicing even though I dropped out of school. But it's like with that, take that 1 week off doesn't mean you stop trying for your thing. It just means you're taking a break, but you can still keep going. I need that to be a thing that's constant reminder to all the listeners and anybody else who listens to the podcast. It's just you can take as long as you need. There's nobody else is rushing. Don't listen to the other voices around you. Listen to what you want. Just because someone says, oh, well, I don't see you making progress with your game or with this or that. It's okay. It's my journey, my life. I decide how long it needs to be.
Yep.